This is KUGAN CASSIUS for iFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Newcastle for the press conference ahead of this week's fights between Lewis Ritson and Paul Highland, and also Josh Kelly and Chris George, amongst other fights. Loads of great fights on this bill.
Very good fights, excellent show.
I'm with Adam Booth. How are you, mate?
Good, how are you?
I like the new team kit. Is that the new team kit?
No, it's the kit for this fight.
It's nice. Is it
Do you
mauve?
want to give him a plug?
Here you go.
Are you going to dig out the colour?
Is it mauve?
No, I think it's like a fusion of cream and peach. Do you remember Angel Delight?
Yes.
Makes me want to have an Angel Delight.
Okay, that's really old school. Box roll. Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, give him a plug.
Don't want to send me anything, feel free.
Ben.
Never sent me anything. They did say they were gonna.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you got his number? I'll give you his number. Ben, don't bullshit.
Josh Kelly. Did you think he'd be fighting for a Commonwealth title after 7 fights? But I don't suppose you thought.
Last week I did think that, yeah.
No, but I don't suppose you thought he'd be fighting Carlos Molina after 6 fights. So progressing.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where. Like any career, you have a plan, but you also figure it out as you go along. You know, it's one thing having a plan, but plans always get deviated, and then you just adapt to it. And you read things, you think, okay, maybe we need to step back a little bit, or maybe we need to push forward a little bit. And Saturday's fight is what I believe is the progression that his ability needs.
What can you tell us about Chris George? We've obviously studied him.
He's got a big upper body, straight legs, bounces on his toes, strong upper body, determined. His hands are quick. He'll have a tight guard, and he'll try and apply himself using his elements.
Okay. Judging by the fights he's going to have this week, it looks like you are kind of pushing him in your opinion, the right but steady way. But you're going for it with this, with Josh and his opponents.
Yeah, I mean, I always do what I think is right. I don't do
No, but
what
what
I
I'm
think
saying is it
wrong.
would have been easy to pad his record out, get him to like 12, 13,
Yeah, but like I said,
having
yeah,
fought
but like
no
I said,
one.
if you have got genuine fighting ability, and confidence, but more importantly, understanding, right? People can have abilities, but they don't understand how to apply them, or they don't understand when to use them, when not to use them. But if you've got ability and an understanding of what you are, then you should take competitive fights, because that's ultimately what's going to make you a better fighter. If you look at all the fighters that we idolize, they all took competitive fights throughout their career and became great fighters because of it. He wants to be the best fighter he can be. He doesn't want to have a fake record and fake titles and earn money off a hollow career. He wants to be a genuine fighter and have genuine success, just like a lot of fighters out there do. But because of his ability, his understanding in the ring, if we didn't make these fights so that he could have these challenges, I'm 100% confident he wouldn't fulfill his potential.
Next step on Saturday, we shall see. Canelo and Golovkin was kind of announced yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they've agreed the deal for September the 15th.
Okay, good.
Okay, after a lot of back and forth that the fight was off and it's on and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that fight is happening September 15th. Are you...
In Vegas.
I assume so. Are you pleased about that?
Yeah.
From a fan point of view, just to watch the fight? But
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that fight.
I know you had a lot to say about certain things regarding Canelo, etc. before.
About what?
About the...
No, I had certain things to say about the whole dope
Right,
testing
okay.
and the system,
In
not
general.
about Canelo. I think I had no criticism of Canelo. My criticism was of how things are done in the system and how it's unevenly handled. And I hope they clear up that mess.
But actually, you did say that regardless of whatever the situation was before, you wanted to see that fight. You think that fight should have gone ahead?
Whether I thought it should have, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see
it.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's good for us fans, isn't it?
Great for us fans.
We're getting that. What did you make of Tyson Fury's return last week?
Strange, but what can you expect, right? That long out the ring and going through that many issues, you can't you can't take silly risks because it's a career as well. What was interesting was the attention it got and the people that watched it, and it was a step to his comeback. I wouldn't necessarily think that. I wouldn't say that was his comeback. I'd say it was a step towards his comeback. He looked like he enjoyed it. There's an extra fight on the undercard that wasn't scheduled or paid for. That wasn't on the undercard. It was like a dual main event. Well, you're looking at me like you don't know that there was a fight that went on outside the ring while he was fighting during round one or two.
I was watching the fight. I don't know about that. I saw some clips. Yeah. But yeah, he's back. This is like the first step.
There's not a lot to read from that fight, but he's back and he's active.
But it'd be good to see him kind of step up.
This sport needs characters, and this sport needs characters in the heavyweight division. And never forget, the reason why all those titles are in other hands now, or were put in other hands quite a while ago, is because somebody dislodged them from the Klitschko grip, and that was him. And people need to remember that.
I think people do know that.
I hope so. I hope that I don't hear it said that often. While people are off making their tens of millions, I don't hear them saying, okay, we've got this chance because someone managed to break it out of Germany.
I'm glad you brought this up, because it's true. It is true. A great night in Dusseldorf 2.5 years ago, yeah. Why were you so adamant that everything needed to be left in this interview?
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, I thought you was going to say something or do something.
No, have you had it on your mind the whole interview?
Yes.
Job done.
What is he going to do?
I'm not doing anything.
No. Adam, a word on David Haye's retirement?
Glad he's retired. Great career. Look past all the freak injuries and circumstances around it, and just look at the statistics. Look at what he achieved as a cruiserweight, as a heavyweight. Look at his knockout percentage. Look at the entertainment he gave, and he was a great combination of personality, character, and a good fighter, an entertaining, exciting fighter. And so when people look back at his career as a whole, I think it was an immense success.
Do you think he used the last month to seriously consider whether he would or not, or do you think he made his mind up after that defeat to Tony Bellew that he wasn't going to fight again?
I don't know, but I think he probably realised what his decision was during the fight with Tony, and possibly before the first knockdown, because time and age gets us all, right? And you think you can do things, and it's only under the stress that you realise whether you can or you can't. And he's a smart fella, and he probably felt that night, okay, this ain't how I remember it feeling, it's time to go, and then just took some time to tell people. David's
always been good with his vocals, shall we say, so him kind of continuing the promotional angle of where he's already been doing is going to put him in good stead for a future in boxing anyway.
He's got to do something, right? He's too young to just go and lay on the beach and do nothing, so he knows pretty much everything there is to know about the boxing business, and there are people out there that can benefit from that knowledge.
Well, it's funny, interesting when fighters do become promoters, because they kind of know from the fighter angle as well as learning about the promoter angle as well. Whereas
I think about this the other day, right? And the food chain of boxing. I was having a chat with Josh, and when you look at it, and you start with TV executives, and then promoters, and then managers, and then coaches, and then fighters, right? And that's how things are dealt with. If you start to stop, I don't know any TV executives that have fought. I don't know any promoters that have fought.
He had a few amateur fights.
Did he?
He had a few amateur.
Really? Where's the footage of that?
You tell us. He reckons that Jim McDonnell knows about it.
One sec.
Where's the video footage of your fights, your amateur bouts?
That never happened.
What, the video or the fight?
No, the fights never happened.
How many didn't happen?
Oh, none of them. I just made it all up.
Did you make it up?
Didn't happen?
Made it up.
Did you
I
really?
didn't make it up. Where's Jim McDonnell? He was there.
I told you.
Throw the left uppercut.
Were you a 15-round fighter?
I'm a 15-round fighter.
There's your mission. Try and get some footage. Anyway,
I'd
where was I?
I'd
Where was I?
pay.
Okay, so, but an exception, right? How many TV executives you know that have fought? How many
No,
promoters
yeah,
you know that fought? And then the managers, yeah, okay, there's a few managers that have boxed. And then there's coaches, more coaches have boxed. And then there's fighters. And it's a really strange business. And the fighter, when people turn pro, they don't know that chain and the good parts of it and the bad parts of it. They don't know. They just go blind leaps of faith.
Obviously, De La Hoya comes to mind currently.
Right.
And Mayweather.
So he'll
now.
he'll be a promoter. So someone at the top of the boxing chain.
Yeah.
That's been. I'm not saying at the bottom. What I'm saying is, like, that's the in the business terms, the communication goes that way. But you got the both ends of it, and David would be the same.
Okay. Right, I need to get on a train. So
you're not bothered you're not worried about talking to me anymore.
no, I need to get on a train. Otherwise, I've got to pay £136 to book another train. Can you feel my pain?
No,
£136 is still of some value.
A long time ago.
It's still of some value to some people, not people like you.
Why aren't you here on Saturday?
What do you mean?
You said you're not going to be here on Saturday.
Yeah,
Why not?
because I'm at a wedding. I'm at a family wedding on Saturday, somewhere very far away. So, yeah, got a trusted accomplice, Mr. Andrew McGart.
That's like a chest infection excuse, isn't it? That's a really vague. I'm at a family wedding somewhere far away. That's like a fighter go, I can't fight Saturday, I've got a chest infection. That's all right. I understand. This ain't your scene. Newcastle.
I love Newcastle, absolutely love Newcastle.
Okay.
And I'm here today.
Well done. You better go because you're on this train.
Unless you want to pay £136 for my next train. Decide now, we can continue.
What time's your train?
2:30. You don't want to give it.
You generally ask
You
me
could
for
just
money
give
for
me
your-
£136 anyway. All right, thank you very much for your time.
Blessings.
Top man.